The Gammarus species, which I acquired for free from a local pet store, also known as scuds, are assisting me in keeping this aquascape free of algae. It has a bit of an issue with diatom algae, which is probably one of the easiest species of algae to deal with. And it makes a nice scape here for my bedroom because I'm not very concerned about turning the light on at odd hours. That can cause a lot of stress for fish and perhaps shrimp, but with a low-level life form like a scud, I don't believe it causes too much stress. So I'd like to keep this tank as a scud culture and a nice decoration for my bedroom. This 29-gallon aquascape contains a dozen Gabon killifish of various ages. I was able to get them to breed simply by moving adults from tank to tank, and occasionally they leave behind viable eggs. I'd like to continue breeding these fish while I have healthy specimens, and so I'd like to get a 10-gallon ready to receive them. This is my first attempt at a 10-gallon scud culture, and as you can see, it is loaded with diatom algae. I did the best I could to clean it off the plants and hardscape just a few days ago, but it is coming back with a vengeance. I believe that the substrate contains so much compost that this scape is pretty much hopeless. So what I'd like to do is move the plants to another tank and remove most of the substrate with a siphon and rinse it thoroughly to get rid of most of the compost, and then put it back in the tank, and once the nitrogen cycle is complete, use this as a killifish breeding tank. "24 hours after rinsing the substrate and adding a bit more hardscape and some fresh plants from the scud culture, where the scuds are doing a fine job of keeping the plants free of algae, the tank looks alright. I'm surprised it's this clear this soon. I didn't bother with the chlorinator, as there's so little chlorine in tap water it's not harmful for the plants. You can add them immediately. But I added some medical tape, surgical tape, to the glass canopy beneath the LED light to reduce the lumens. And I believe I'm going to add a bit more, try to get a lower level light, and perhaps I won't have such an issue with diatom algae in the killifish breeding tank. Here's what I'm talking about with the LED. I've got some plastic tack there just to hold it in place. This tape is white, so it won't filter out the red end of the spectrum, which is so good for the plants. I think if I double up on it, it'll reduce the lumens significantly. Did that make much of a difference? Well, it doesn't seem to. Perhaps I'll add another layer of tape. But it's just an experiment to see if I can better control the algae in this tank. One more layer. Yeah, I think that looks alright. There's a few more plants. I can add more that are free of algae if this appears to be working out. Could also put some more tape on the glass canopy and see if that helps matters, or perhaps with lower illumination the plants won't do as well. But hopefully I can balance this out before I add the killifish.